Photoshop Elements contains a variety of ways to adjust the contrast and brightness in your image. In previous versions of the product, I've hesitated in recommending using the brightness contrast sliders as a means of adjusting the tones in your photo. The reason being is that traditionally this control has provided good adjustments, but it's all too easy to actually over adjust the image and lose some delicate highlight and shadow detail in the process of applying a bit of brightness or contrast change. This is different though in Photoshop Elements 6 because the control has been revamped and we now have a lot less destructive application of these two sliders than what we've had before. In fact, it's a reflection of the changes made in Photoshop CS3 to the same control. Let's look how it works on this photo of a piece of fabric. Let's look how it works on this photo of a piece of fabric. So we go up to Enhance and then just down to Adjust Lighting and across to Brightness and Contrast. Notice our other options for adjusting the levels notice that our other options for adjusting the tones in this picture are available here as well. That's namely Shadow Highlights and also the Levels control. Here we'll select Brightness Contrast. The dialog looks exactly the same, but it's what's sitting behind the dialog, how the feature works itself, that has changed. So notice as I drag up the brightness control, I've still got details in the highlight areas of my image, whereas before I would have lost this detail. Also notice as I drag up contrast, I get an increase in the clarity or the contrast of the image, but without too much destruction happening to the delicate shadow and highlight details. So in Photoshop Elements 6, the new interpretation of the brightness contrast control is a good way to make adjustments to your image. So in Photoshop Elements 6, the new brightness contrast control is a good way to make quick adjustments to the tones in your image, and other options like shadow highlights or the levels control can be used for fine-tuning the photo.